everybody, it's 10:20 in the morning on the 17th of December. I knew I said I wasn't going to do any more videos, going to test going back unless I was passing through. So yeah, I'm passing through. I'm basically I am going to Tesco, but Tesco filling station, fill up, and I'm heading off to somewhere I've never been before. I've passed through it, but never been there. But I'm looking for maybe other things on the way. It's a canny day, weather-wise, sun's shining as you can see. It's very cold like, but anyway, we'll see what the weather brings. After I've filled up, I'm heading sorry, I'm heading to back over the moors, then down into Stanhope, and then up over the other side, which takes you towards Middleton, Teesdale, Barnard Castle, places like that. So right, that's it for the moment anyway. I'm just about at the filling station. Okay, filled up. This is not something I often do. In fact, it's something I rarely do. And that's called the McMuffins. McDonald's for me breakfast. Which is just across the road from Tesco. And over there we've got Costco coffee. You can't see for the sunshine, of course. And then Sports Direct next door, then DIY after that. DIY, B&Q. And Morrison's is just in the sunshine there. So I'm just come to buy myself a I think you call it an egg McMuffin or something. Egg and sausage anyway. Just tiny little things, but just to put something on the stomach. I've had no breakfast this morning, so that's a crack with that. Anyway. Well, that's egg McMuffin. Shows how often I get it. I was expecting egg and sausage, and I ended up getting egg and cheese. I'm not particularly too fond of cheese, but anyway, that's what I got. Just down the road there, just behind us by a mile maybe, we've got the cops standing on the side of the road with a speed camera. I must look on my dash cam and see if I caught him. And the time was about 10:45, and that's just to remind myself when I get home. So yeah, watch the signal for to tell people watch out, there's a speed camera guy up ahead. A lot of people tend to just flash a light or wave the hand or something. I think it's against the law actually, which is ridiculous, like against the law to warn somebody that you're going to get a fine and 3 points on your licence if you're doing a couple of miles an hour over the limit, which is totally ridiculous, like. I don't know what that van's doing, like, but they're digging up something on the trench. They're digging a trench on the side of the road there. So anyway, well, halfway, well, not we, me, I'm just heading over the moors now. I haven't entered the moors yet, like, because I haven't went across the cattle grid. Nice day so far. I brought the drone today, hoping to get a little bit of flight. Weather's been not bad, it's been useless actually. So anyway, we'll see what it's like when we get over the top anyway. Wow, that's another clip I need to take off the dash cam. Wait till you see it. I was obviously driving this direction. There was a car coming towards us, a few sheep on the left hand side, and I thought these lot bound to run across. So they were closer to the woman in the car on the other side of the road than me. One dash for it, then the old dash for it. Anyway, if I found it, here's a clip off the dash cam. Now in Stanhope, just came down the main bank into Stanhope and basically turned right at the bottom of the bank, first left, heading towards High Force. I think a few people would have heard of High Force. Could end up there the day, I don't know. Last time I was at High Force, I went through the night when I was young, maybe 17-year-old, something like that. The last time I was at High Force. So, and I think you've got to pay now. I don't mind paying, but I wasn't too impressed by it, being honest with you, like. It didn't seem very high, if you know what I mean. It was just a waterfall. But anyway, I've just remembered, and I've forgot to put my house alarm on, which I don't often forget that. But it's a remote control one, so all I've got to do is pull in a lay-by here and turn it on. So I'll do that and I'll be on my way. Well, I'm in Teesdale now and it's started to rain, so typical. Few cars here, so it looks like, yeah, there's a place to walk along there. I'm not doing that in this weather, like. There's roads that enjoy walking and there's roads that will walk in any weather. I'm sorry, but I'm not an any weather person. Not now anyway, not at my age, but anyway, it's bright over in the distance, so hopefully this might be just a temporary shower that we're driving through. We'll see. Still in Teesdale. I'm just driving really. See if I come across anything interesting, because it's chucking it down 1 minute, next minute it's eased off a bit, so at the moment I'm still heading for high force. So once again we'll see where we end up. Right, I've ended up in Middleton and Teesdale, and it says on a sign there, high force, back in the opposite direction, so I've obviously missed it out somewhere down the line. So when red light shows, wait here. Bit complicated this. I wasn't expecting to be stuck in the middle of a little town. Not the traffic lights. I'm going to have to go through, find somewhere to turn, and then come back, I think. I'll turn right here and get sorted. There's a rainbow just ahead. I'm now in North Pennines. I've travelled 26.5 miles and found me way. I'm heading towards Alston and High Force. Just basically looking around for something interesting. The scenery around here is gorgeous. I don't think I've ever been on this road in my life, but there's a lot of there's the rainbow by the way. There's a lot of nice scenery over to the left. Not many cars on this road, that's for sure. I certainly wouldn't have headed over here the other week when it was snowing. Right, plod on, see how far we're getting, where we end up. I passed High Force and too many cars there for my liking. So that's probably another visit another day. And the weather's not too good either, so which is typical. I'm just going to keep driving and see where I end up. I'm still heading towards Alston, which is 15 more miles from here. But the drive's nice anyway, that's the main thing. It's not a complete waste of time. I've seen a sign what says St John's Chapel, 5 mile across the moors, so I turned off and I thought, okay, head for St John's Chapel. I know where it is and know my way around there. And then there was a sign what said cyclists beware, like kind of bad weather conditions at all times over this route, because obviously it's up and down over the moors, but pity about High Force anyway, but I'll go there next year when it gets when the weather changes a bit. Here's a big truck, he's doing a bit speed there, mine. Whew, scary. Aye, so yeah, I like to go to ruined buildings and stuff like, but I've never seen nothing. But you never know what's over the top of the next hill. Well, I came down into St John's Chapel and decided to turn left towards Kilhip. I'm just going to go through there over to the back road over to Rakepine, around that way. Pretty pointless even getting out the van today by the looks of it, because the weather's crap. It was supposed to be canny, it was nice when I left home, but looking over the moors to my right is where I'm heading. There's bright sunshine over there, so as you can see, I'm in Irish Hopeburn. Weather's useless, so just keep driving. We'll see where we end up. We're going to be in Cumbria before long, on the borders anyway. Just coming down into Allen Heads, and as we can see, the weather's still crap, so very little to do with the day, unfortunately. But it's the time of year, what more can you expect? Can't expect bright sunshine and warm and dry and no wind. But not many vehicles on the road. I've passed a few delivery vehicles, DHL and DTB, or whatever you call them, DBT or something. Just arriving in Allen Heads now, and then I'm not actually going into Allen Heads. I just get here, turn right, and then back over the moors again, which is here. Over towards Rookhope. There's nout in Allen Heads, not worth even going in for. It's okay in the summer. They generally have something on, like in the market square type of thing, if you like. But anyway, the scenery's nice, as I say, to drive out, but then just sit and dine out all day. But a little disappointing that the weather changed. This is part of the coast to coast, by the way, and this is like mega uphill, so anybody that does that comes up here, hell of a climb to get to the top. Well, I ended up here. First place I've stopped, Rakepine. So I'm not that far from home actually now. Weather's terrible, windy, raining. There's the mine shaft. I'm sure if you've watched some of my videos you've seen it before. I flew my drone around there from here as well. and around the house over there. I made a canny one over there. There's a house over. I know the sun's shining, but it's raining. So not much good today, I'm afraid. It's just been another drive out. Such a beautiful area as well, but you've got to have the weather. I'll put the camera outside for a second and listen. Yeah, so not very good. I'll just sit here for 10 minutes, just have a little bit look at things, and then we'll be heading back, I think. I just came through Blanchland, over the moors into Blanchland, out the other side, and it's like one of them things, you might as well have stayed at home. The weather's nice here, which is typical. Just you try and add some variety to different places you go, but we'll have to rely on the weather, unfortunately. And it's lovely here. It's been raining because the roads are soaking, but oh yeah, not bad here at all. One of them things. I've come back into rough side again, which I came through the other day, and then round by the German reservoir. I do want to pull up in there's a lay-by up the road here. I want to pull up there, and I need to try a couple of experiments for Wi-Fi signals for next year.